Welcome to this week's Ohio Tech Report presented by Zendesk. We're so excited that you're joining us. And today we have a special guest, Tonjia Coverdale from Nationwide. Tonjia, welcome. Thanks so much for being here. And if you could, tell us a little bit about yourself and what y'all are doing at Nationwide.
Hi, Chris. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. I am Tonjia Coverdale, and I am AVP of Finance Technology at Nationwide. And in my role, I am leading finance modernization for the Office of the Chief Financial Officer. I've been at Nationwide for 2 years, and it's a fantastic place to work. So I know we're doing a lot of hiring here soon and hoping that many of you will join us. Prior to that, I was leading the transformation for the Office of Human Resources and also the Office of the Legal Officer. So
Awesome.
that
Well,
is what I
Tonjia,
do.
thanks for joining. And I think what we'll do is drop a few of those job opportunities at Nationwide in tech and innovation in the comments for those that are watching. Check them out. As Tonjia said, they're hiring both for in-person, remote opportunities. And so there's a ton of great stuff happening. And so, Tonjia, if you're ready, we'll dive into our three stories for this week. And it's actually a little more than three, but
All
the
right.
first one is really exciting. This is Hyperion. It is a massive, massive announcement. This is a company that's moving from California to Columbus. They're expected to bring nearly 700 new jobs to the west side of town. It's a $296 million investment that marks the city's largest manufacturing project in a decade. And what this company does is specializes in hydrogen technology for super fast cars and other energy and utility purposes. It was founded in Columbus in 2011, went to California, but they're coming back home. So it's a pretty cool announcement on the heels of some other big ones. We have another high tech company that's coming back to town, Tanja.
Chris, you know what I love about that is that is no place like home. And so I love that they founded here, coming back to their roots, but more particularly merging the past, the present, and the future of Ohio. So, Ohio has such a rich history in manufacturing. Now marrying that to technology, which is our present and our future, really loving how the footprint is growing, and particularly on the west side, loving that we're having some growth out there.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. And another a massive story. I had jokingly said on Twitter, like, I wonder what Ohio Tech's going to do this month when it was February 1st. And then like 20 minutes later, I saw this news. I was like, okay, I wish I knew what was going on, but total luck. But
Yeah.
really cool. And as you said, melding the past and manufacturing with the future of some of this stuff, and coming back home from California, I should say. So really cool. So story number two. This is another kind of record breaking story. This is Enable Injections. They shattered the Southwestern Ohio region's previous fundraising record with a $215 million Series C round. And so, what this company does is they develop and manufacture wearable drug system delivery called Infuse. And so, this capital is going to help inject and make scale its development and commercialization efforts. So, this is a Cincinnati tech success story. Another cool one, a really big $215 million Series C round. More momentum, more money being pumped into tech in the state.
So, Cincinnati is on the map nationally in so many ways. So let me inject the hooday in here right now for Cincinnati. But I'm loving that because we like to focus a lot on Central Ohio, but Ohio itself, the whole state is filled with innovation. And so this story just shows that we should not just focus on one region. Cincinnati and Southwestern Ohio is holding up that southern region with all things tech and innovation. So fantastic. Love
Yeah,
it.
it's really cool, and I love the Who Day coming up on the Super Bowl. Got another week to wait, but really cool to see. And as you said, like Cincinnati, they have some interesting stuff with. There's a lot of this kind of medical device or biotech, and some of it's being spun out of Cincinnati Children's and UC Medical Center and the research and development there. So it's really cool to see this stuff. And one of the reporters that wrote this story, when we posted it online on Twitter, she said she thinks there's maybe some more kind of competitive announcements, which show more success coming pretty soon. So pretty cool stuff. Well, we'll go to story number three now, Tanja. And this is really kind of a compilation of stories because it's around jobs. And so we already talked about Hyperion and their 700 research, development, engineering, design, manufacturing jobs, which are coming to Columbus. But I'm going to read off a couple other ones. This is a surging tech company that is adding 125 high-paying jobs in Blue Ash. So another Cincinnati story. And this is Cerkl. They've committed, as I said, 125 jobs that are coming. Intel is apparently, and we're going to link all these stories in the comments, is already luring suppliers to Central Ohio. That's from Columbus Business First. One from Cincy Inno is Silicon Valley drone startup targeting Southwestern Ohio for new jobs. And there's a lot of cool work happening in Southwestern Ohio in drone and aerial vehicles. And then another final one for this episode is a Dayton area tech firm plots expansion, 100 new hires. This is by the Dayton Business Journal, and that's Radiance Technologies. And they're doing some stuff with the Department of Defense and kind of innovation in that world. And we won't dig into each of those, Tonjia, but I wanted to read them off because it really struck me as all these big announcements, 100, 125, 900, etc., on top of companies like Nationwide that are hiring for a ton of careers. So I don't know where to start, but it's really exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. And so I'll just dig into Dayton because that's a place we don't hear about a lot. But there's the Wright Pat Air Force Base right there in Fairborn. And so that's a hub for a lot of technological innovations that could come out of that area. So I'm really excited to see that Dayton is definitely getting some focus and love this week because, again, they're due for a resurgence as well. And I feel like the whole state of Ohio, as we're coming out from our past of being the Rust Belt, we're going to be the Tech Belt. Has that name been coined yet? Is there a Tech Belt? We're going to be that. And so when we're looking across that Dayton kind of being in the middle of Cincinnati and Columbus, maybe getting clouded a little bit, coming out on their own. And nobody didn't mention it today, but there's a lot going on in Cleveland. So I think in future weeks and future stories, we'll hear some more things coming out there with the Cleveland Innovation District. And so again, just a great time to be in the state of Ohio as a technologist and just someone watching technology. Is really fun.
It is. And you said Tech Belt. The other one I've heard is Silicon Heartland, which Intel CEO was saying after the big Intel announcement. So I don't know. Do you like Silicon Heartland or Tech Belt better?
I think both. Let's do it all because Silicon Heartland is great, and that's going to talk about more of the manufacturing piece. But don't forget about some of the service companies that we have here, service orientation. So that is more included in Tech Belt. And so whatever they call us, just call us home. How about that?
Exactly. And what's cool is, we mentioned that company coming back home from California after starting here. You're someone who has spent time across the U.S. and in different places. I went out east for a little bit after college, but came back home. And there's kind of a cool movement of people that are finding Ohio home. And, maybe they haven't lived here their entire lives, or they were born here, raised here, but are coming back, either companies or people. And so it's kind of this cool momentum that's being built there.
It is, Chris. And the old saying, home is where the heart is. And this is the heart of the country. So I think it makes sense that everyone's trying to come here and call Central Ohio and Southwestern Ohio, Northeastern Ohio, just Ohio home.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Tonjia, thanks so much for joining. Any final comments, thoughts, or parting words before we take off for the weekend?
Absolutely. Please look at careers.nationwide.com. I have been there for 2 years and I am not looking back, just looking forward, just really loving the culture. It's a great place to work under the fantastic leadership of our enterprise CTO, Jim Fowler. And so I'll look for you soon.
Yeah, that's awesome. And as I said, we'll link those, both that page and then a couple special ones that are standing out in the comments. We hope people check them out. I know there's a lot more coming from Nationwide on some of the job and career opportunities that are coming. But Tonjia, thanks so much for joining us this week. This was fun catching up and really, really exciting time for tech in Ohio. And just when we think we have a big announcement and it's going to maybe kind of get quiet for a bit, we're proved wrong again. So another fantastic week in Ohio for tech. Tonjia, thanks so much for joining. We appreciate our sponsors at Zendesk. We'll tag them. You can check them out as well at zendesk.com. But have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.